this is going to be an analysis of the second 10-mile time trial that I've done, that being just last week and 4 weeks after my first time trial, and having some significant improvements in my position, I'd say, as well as being able to squeeze out a little bit more power, despite not feeling 100% on the day. So yeah, definite room for improvement, I'd say, going forward in terms of, again, both position and power. So that's good because having a nice progression from one race to the next, and then hopefully for the next race I'll again see an improvement and a jump in the result. So yeah, let's dive into it. Now, first of all, I got 30-second time penalty, so I my finish time was 20:08, but I got a 30-second time penalty, so end up coming third rather than first. But yeah, for the file itself, obviously it's 20:08. I guess I can explain what happened. So I was parked here, the clubhouse, the village hall where you went to get your numbers and stuff was about here, and I'd not done this course before, so I knew where the start was, but it was a lot further up the road than I thought it was. It's probably about 3 kilometers from where the car is. So I left the car at 7-8 minutes before my start time. Thought I'd be absolutely fine, and I'm going along this road, and I guess I get to the midway point and start seeing cyclists going the other way, and I'm like, have I gone past the start? Have I missed it? And I thought I might have been on course already. And yeah, I think I pulled into this road here because I saw someone warming up there, and I was shouting at people to see if anyone knew where the start was, and then eventually I saw everyone lined up on the road, but it was 30 seconds late. But thankfully they let me start in a later time slot, and then they just gave me the penalty at the end, which was good because at least I was still able to race. Um, so yeah, this is the course. So it's not an even out and back. You go further on the way back, and also worth noting, this first section, the road is pretty bad, pretty lumpy, and then the road actually gets really good. It's a really nice and smooth road up until just before the roundabout, where the road again gets a bit more UK, um, and then obviously a smooth road on the way back, and then once you're past this final bridge, yeah, the road's pretty lumpy again. You've got these 4 bridges that you have to go across, so the aim was to just dig in a little bit more to get over those bridges to maintain a little bit more speed. So yeah, the average power for the time trial was 385, which is good because 371 from the uh, 371 from 4 weeks ago from the first 10 miler. So definitely improvement there in the power, obviously. So I'm just looking at this first half, a bit less than half because this is just up to the roundabout. So 396 watts. So definitely positive split it a bit, but looking at the speed, that was definitely the right thing to do. It was a bit of a cross headwind on the way out. Um, so yeah, digging in a little bit more on the way out into the headwind was a good idea because less power on the way back, but pretty even in terms of speed, just because you've got the slight assistance from it wasn't a super strong tailwind because it was mainly just a massive crosswind in this open moorland. But yeah, it was obviously a little bit of assistance on the way back. So yeah, 396 on the way out, decent. Heart rate was my heart rate's been, because I've been training a lot in the TT position. I've been able to get my heart rate up. When I first started, I just wasn't able to. I guess because I was so muscularly inefficient in the position, I wasn't able to use my aerobic engine as much. But also my training had been down for a couple of weeks for various reasons. So not getting as many hours in, so that makes sense why my heart rate would be higher as well as me being able to be more efficient at basically getting the most out of myself on the day. So getting up to 180 BPM compared to my max heart rate was 177, so I was basically maxing out at 175 4 weeks beforehand. So yeah, heart rate was able to get higher, which meant I was able to push more power. Got out hard, 600 watts is first, and you'd think it's a slight downhill followed by an uphill. Is straight on. This is just like a couple of meters difference. It's not a downhill, trust me. Yeah, so it's basically straight onto this uphill that you've got from the start. So you definitely need to do a dig at the start, and I did first 30 seconds up this hill. So you do this first dig up the start to get going, and then up the hill. So you see, I'm digging, but the speed's still creeping up. Obviously, I was aiming for a sub 20 performance today, so 48 kilometers an hour was the speed I was looking for really. But yeah, the magic number I guess on the day. So this first 50 seconds at over 500 watts, but still not able to get up to 48 kilometers an hour because you're straight onto this hill basically. But then over the back of the hill, over the back of the bridge, you the speed picks up, and then you're just easing off the gas a little bit here to recover. So, and that was the plan. Just for these bergs, you dig in more over them, and then you're able to rest a little bit as you once you've come up to speed. And once you're up to speed, you don't want to be wasting that power. Um, so yeah, second bridge coming up here again, digging in a little. So averaging around 400, but then coming up to the bridge, making the not super great, but making the effort to get above 400 watts. Ideally, it would be like 450. I'd be at 450 here, but yeah, I was definitely making the effort. You see, to get above 400, and then over the back of the hill, I'm able to ease off a bit as the speed's coming up. And the speed's dropping off here to 35, but it's not too bad a drop off than coming into the roundabout. Um, I'll be honest, I probably could have been a bit quicker through the roundabout, but I get to the roundabout and I'm like, oh my god, thank God I get some time to rest, some time and not pedaling. But yeah, it's a big wide smooth roundabout where you can take it fast. You can do it pretty fast, faster than I did definitely. But I was just like happy that I didn't have to pedal for a little bit. I don't think I was heavy on the brake. I probably didn't hardly touch the brakes to be honest. It was just coasting around the roundabout. But yeah, ideally could be a bit higher than this based on like what the Strava segment times are. But I just wanted a bit of a rest here. If we look at the segment, this one here. So this is for the roundabout. So I did 34 seconds, but comparing the course record from John Archibald, able to do it in 29 seconds, so holding a lot more speed through that roundabout. Obviously, it's not like for like. Probably had worse conditions on my day, but yeah, it just shows that you can conserve a little bit more speed through that roundabout. So that's something to be aware of and work on. And my next time trial's gonna probably be on this course. Next 10-mile time trial is going to be on this course again. So good to know the ins and outs of the course. So yeah, navigated the roundabout, lost. So that took about 20 seconds, I think it was. 20 seconds of, if we look at the no power zone. So yeah, like 15, 20 seconds of easing off the pedals, but that could have been 10 seconds. I lost 5 seconds through the roundabout, so yeah, could have been a bit less time easing off the gas, even though I wanted a bit of a rest. Yeah, out of the roundabout, making that dig straight away to try and get up to speed, but the road surface is pretty poor, so wasn't able to get up to speed as quick. Just getting in the bars, and then letting the speed come up and trying to hold constant power, and then again over. Not as good as on the way out because obviously I was tired, but making the effort when it comes up to this bridge, making the effort to get to 450 watts, to just conserve a little bit more speed. Obviously, speed's dropping off, but you're minimising that drop off of speed by digging a little bit more on the pedals. Very consistent here, and then again just trying to do this final little dig above 400 despite being knackered. And then cruising into the finish and averaging 385, I thought it was. squeeze those little extra watts out. Retake my way out being 396, and then my way back being 385. Just that coasting through the roundabout lost me 5 watts on my average watts. So it just shows that you wouldn't think that adds up, but it kind of does. And even though I eased off through the roundabout, my heart rate only went down 5 BPM or something, and then straight out the roundabout we're back into the 180s. But I was comfortable at 180 today. It wasn't it wasn't like I was dying. I mean, I hadn't been well, so the heart rate was a bit higher as well. Um, another weird thing on the day, I was a bit inconsistent with my cadence. I run quite a high cadence, but there was some, and 105 isn't crazy, but there were some sections where I'm just like, yeah, I want to be running 100 and 110 here, and yeah, it was a bit random, bit inconsistent. It was the same at the start. I think it's over the bridge, coming the other side of the bridges, I'd spin out at 120 for a bit before I'd shift up the gears, but yeah, it's whatever. It's hard to compare. You can't compare like for like, but comparing to my TT from, obviously not comparing the time, of course, because this was definitely a harder course, far worse conditions. But even still, power was better than 4 weeks ago, and I think the time reflects that my position was a fair bit better as well. But yeah, definitely still room to work on if we're comparing to the course record of John Archibald. Like, he was basically, we would compare the two times. Like, I'd say he was consistently, there wasn't any standout sections. Obviously, he was just consistently 5 kilometers an hour faster than I was. Took the roundabout a little bit faster, and then also for each of these the bergs, the bridges going over the roundabouts, he was digging in a little bit more than I was able to. Compared to like his, that you see in his power file, that his obvious little bumps where he's going over the over the bridges, whereas for me it's a lot steadier power, I'd say. Whereas so it's clear that I'm not digging in as deep, and lot as a result of him digging deeper, he's able to flatten out this the speed graph and not having these significant dips, as significant, like still a loss of speed, but I think I'm getting down to like 35k an hour at my slowest. He's probably not dropping below 40. Yeah, consistently above 40, 45 sort of thing. What you can actually do is compare the segments, so compare it to the course record, and so this is just like for like. So this is John Archibald's time, and it's just just consistent roughly 5 kilometers, or 5 to 10 depending on the section, but always faster speed really, which makes sense because it's just an out and back TT. It's not that complex really, but yeah, he was up 60, the halfway point. He was up. So you reach the halfway point, or the roundabout, 63 seconds before me, and then 2 minutes 13 by the end. So yeah, lots of room for improvement there for sure. Now from the first TT to the second one, that was so 371 watts to 385 watts, plus a faster course, plus slightly better conditions, and that was able to, if we ignore the 30-second time penalty, that was able to save over a minute. So I'm hoping that, I know my powers, by my next TT, I'm hoping the power should be up. Training stimulus is going to be different because I'm going to be racing a lot as my training, but I'm still confident that the power is going to come up regardless. So yeah, hopefully creeping in on more like 400 watts. That being 400 watts from my from my 4eyes, which can now be from my Asioma because I've changed cranks, which is probably a bit low since I think my left leg is weaker than my right leg. But yeah, hoping this power can come up. But then I'm also I'm making a lot of positional changes now that I'm gonna start training in to hopefully make me a lot more aero, to also bring down the time, because I remember just looking at the photos from my original TT, because of the rain, like my head position was really affected, where I was looking up a lot more than I want to be. So I made sure to change that for the TT last week, where I was really making the effort to keep my neck turtled in, having visibility of the road, but definitely in a lot more advantageous position. Now, I don't think I'll be able to match John's sub 18 time on my next 10 miler on this course, but I'm hoping to get something close to some 19 minutes. A low 19-minute I'd be happy with that, and that'll be a really good final 10 miler before nationals. As I'm going to do one more 10 miler and then 3 25 milers before the 25 and the 10 mile CTT Nationals. Same as last time, doing using this performance predictor with the Strava extension, and then also an online CDA calculator. So yeah, reckoning my CDA is to achieve the time I did under these conditions. This being rolling resistance for GP 5000s, a 0.23 CDA, and then also from this calculator just under a 0.23 CDA, so 2.2. Not gonna delve into that accuracy, but yeah, slightly lower than 0.23, and that being, yes, like I said, it was an easier course than last time, but that's still a significant improvement on my CDA the CDA calculated from 4 weeks ago. So yeah, I was so close to 0.25, 0.24 x. So now down at 0.23. Now, yes, part of that is the course and the conditions. I understand, but I know that my position was a lot better on the day, so I'm happy with that. Seeing that there's the calculators are saying that, hey, there was an improvement there, which is a nice thing to see. I'm looking at John's run. I've just put in his weight at 79 kilograms from Pro Cycling Stats. Looking at John Archibald's win from the 2022 National Championships, sort of CDA you're looking at, obviously these are just estimates, but sort of CDA you're looking at to do that sub 18 is like 0.18. So yeah, definitely need to make some significant improvements in my in my position, because obviously doing monster power like he did on the day, like it's only one part of the equation. Like, you need to have a really good position as well on the bike to do a performance like that. So noted. Yep, reality check for sure. But that's why I'm working on the position as well as doing the training to bring the power up. So yeah, we'll just have to see how we do at nationals come the summer. Also looking at a 10 mile PB from someone called Paul Burton, who has helped me with some of my positional work. And yeah, his CDA is ridiculous. Is producing relatively a lot less power. But yeah, doing a sub 18 time at the end of last year. So yeah, obviously course as well, conditions being better, higher temperature, probably minimal wind, and a faster course. But if you look at this performance predictor, even putting in a far faster rolling tyre, I didn't realise the difference in rolling resistance between GP 5000 and the Victoria Corsa Speed. But yeah, the course, just this is for the Corsa Speed. The GB 5000 is over 0.3, 0.316 or so. GB 1000 is 0.321. I didn't realise that was. Obviously, it's just a number, and you have to put it into the calculator to see what difference that actually makes in terms of time. But yeah, I didn't realise the Corsa Speed was that much faster, really. But yeah, putting the Corsa Speed in, his weight, assuming the weight of his bike. And yeah, to do a sub 18, he went faster than this. It's not letting me put the CDA calculator any lower for 0.15 CDA. It's predicting a slower time than he ends up doing, which is just ridiculous for someone who's not like Remco. He's not like Bigham, where they're a small guy who are built to get in these tiny positions. He's a pretty regular looking chap, but he's able to get into a ridiculously aero position on his bike. So yeah, just putting it into this other calculator, slight altitude, decent temperature, but yeah, again coming up with just over 0.15 for the CDA, which is phenomenal, really. So I'm glad that I've been listening to his advice, and because at the start it's like, oh, I'd been doing some work myself, and I was pretty happy with my position, and then he told me like, no, you need to get back to the drawing board. So my position's getting, if it's getting anywhere close to what his is, then yeah, I'll be happy. And he also works with a specific coach, and I'm thinking I wouldn't want to go see that coach immediately, but maybe after this season, depending on how nationals have gone, I might want to go have a bike fit and a discussion with that coach, because he's obviously done wonders for Paul's CDA, and would be able to do the same for me potentially.